You walk into the room and you know you're about to have your last words with your parent.
Two young men.
And the first thing I said was, you better have thought through what you're about to say to me right now.
Sit together.
This will leave an impact.
First man.
Whichever way it goes.
Second man.
You know, I walk in and I sit down beside him, and he's wearing this beautiful blue collared shirt and this beautiful blue bow tie. He also had blue eyes, and so they matched. And I said to him, other than present circumstances, you look great.
Bare tree branches against an overcast sky. Yellow text appears. Title card, How We Die. Black text underneath, the future of end of life. How we died, this episode, death by appointment. The two men walk in a cemetery. It's wintertime. First man.
Hey, Dad.
To a headstone.
Hi, Jay.
They approach a grave.
Even in death, still on TV.
J. Stephen Keystone.
Humor was his medicine. The truth is, I told my aunt to put that on the grave, because, I think he said he wanted it. But, I'm not, 100% sure.
David Keystone.
But it's good anyways. We all agree.
Host-producer.
Humor was his medicine.
And co-founder at Keepsake Videoing.
My dad was, in my mind, in a way, a larger-than-life character.
Kevin Keystone.
You know, he loved his family, he loved his kids.
Writer-researcher.
And he loved his work.
A father of 5, Dr. J. Stephen Keystone was renowned in the field of tropical medicine and received the Order of Canada for his work. He also chose medically assisted death. David and Kevin Keystone, his sons, now want to share their dad's story and the end-of-life choice he made.
Ready? Mm-hmm. Walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
They watch a video.
Chemotherapy, head shave, round 2, no problem.
Their father's head is being shaved. Kevin.
We took on the role of caregivers jumping in with both feet. We are a very sort of organized and coordinated bunch.
David on video.
Here we got Papa J and Uncle Dave, professionally swindled mattress. Little hospital slumber party, eh, bud?
David.
I go in there and I'm worried that he's sick and he wouldn't want to be filmed and whatever.
No, but meanwhile he's
and he's
trying
like,
to
oh yeah. And he's like, here, am I getting it too? It was brilliant. Some personalities tend to gravitate to certain things or not. For me, for example, when changing his ileostomy bag, it's connected to his bowels and I'm doing this for him and we're there and it stinks a little bit and we're joking and it's just how can you not laugh at this? It could have been by virtue of who he was and his ability to find humor in it all that allowed us all to drop our guards. Dave and Uncle Jay, I've had my beard for 15 years, and he always says, you growing a beard?
David rubs his cheek on his father's.
Shave it off for him, because it hurts a little. I hated my beard.
David shaved.
Oh, you shaved it for him?
Yeah, I took it off for him, because he's dying tomorrow, or a couple days.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
fair.
I want to be able to kiss this man's face without him complaining about it.
And you just said beauty.
When you're taking care of someone, and you're going through these motions with them, you're experiencing things that bond you in ways that you would never have before. It's not all darkness, for sure. There's a lot of light.
Now the brothers pray.
For decades, medically assisted death was mainly associated with Switzerland, but now that's grown to include several other countries, including Canada. Medical assistance in dying, also known as MAID, was passed into Canadian federal legislation in 2016. The criteria to request medical assistance in dying includes having a serious and incurable illness, disease, or disability, as well as being in an advanced state of irreversible decline in capability.
Yeah, I don't say these things properly at all.
Kevin.
My dad was diagnosed with colon cancer. I can recall when my dad told us that he was choosing medical assistance in death. He had actually told me at that time the date that he had scheduled it for. And he said, I had a really good life, and now I want a good death.
David.
Something that I think is important to do when caring for someone who's dying who's close to you is to think about and approach sensitively, but have really difficult conversations.
Kevin.
Listen to the person who's dying and help fulfill their wishes and their mission.
Between 2016 and 2019, almost 14,000 Canadians chose medically assisted death. The majority were between the ages of 56 and 90, and more than 60% had cancer.
Pebbles are placed on the headstone.
It takes a lot of courage to make the decision to die.
David.
You are realizing that hope to get better and whatever is not going to happen. You know that your family and friends are going to be really sad. You know that you're ending, as far as you might know, your consciousness, depending on your faith. And I think that that should be taken super seriously and respected very much when someone does ultimately make that decision.
My dad died peacefully and surrounded by love.
Image of J. Stephen Keystone.
And I think that that's what we all want for ourselves.
Credits.